BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for all your sports betting action. Baseball season is in full swing, and we're into the home stretch for NBA and NHL playoffs. And there's more ways to stay in on the action with the latest odds, news and scores, even live in-game betting while the games are being played. With the largest selection of odds on everything from the MLB, NHL, and UFC. And in between games, head over to the BetOnline Casino. All the top Vegas-style games, including poker and live casino action. So BetOnline, the game starts here. All right, Harry, so we got some lucha to talk about. Harry, we'll introduce your boy here.
Yo, we're back with Disco's favorite segment of the show and one of his favorite people, Harry Ruiz, the Lucha Libre segment. Boom.
And AEW live correspondent.
Live correspondent.
Front row.
Did you see Harry right there in the front center row?
I did see him with a little sign.
What was that stupid sign you had up and said? Was that your sign,
missing.
Harry?
Yeah, I got holding it.
That, bro, the sign that said Adam Page is going to win the title at All In or something. That was, Harry, come on. From now on, if you're going to be on TV and you're going to be representing Keep It at 100, we have to proofread the signs that you're going to be showing on the show, okay? All right.
What was the
one?
What was the one that you had that said, been missing since I couldn't read
the title, the belt that they had? It's been gone for now, what, 6 months?
What title?
Belt.
When's the last time we saw the belt?
Oh,
when
John Moxley keeps in the briefcase.
Yeah.
Dude, how hysterical would it be for a shoot? Somebody was traveling and the belt got stolen and they're just doing this.
It's possible.
I mean, it happened, right, with Jericho.
It did, right?
Taken out of the limo
with Jericho.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Okay, we're going to go over the show. Before we go over the show, do you want to say anything about the show, good or bad? Yeah, we saw it was a hot crowd.
Yeah, no, I would have loved to see some of the top guys wrestle, but I understand that it was the show right after the pay-per-view, so they had to stick in the promos with Hangman, with Swerve, with Ospreay.
Plus, Harry, I saw a lot of guys were banged up, so maybe they were waiting to get cleared as well. I'll get that story for you.
Yeah, I saw that with Sean Ross Sapp as well, that like the Young Bucks, they weren't there. I was hoping Kenny would be there at least for a promo or something, but they're just doing the same thing they always do with Kenny, that they get his contenders for his title through a tournament and then they wrestle him, which I don't get it. But like in Collision, Okada came out. We weren't expecting to get Okada. We got Okada. That was pretty cool. But yeah, towards the end, it just felt like, man, this is going on for a while because we got Dynamite, we got Collision, and I left at 10:30 and there was still a match in the ring. So.
And what time did the show start? 6:30? There's 6 or 7 o'clock?
6 Mountain Time. So it was considered TV. It had been going on for like 4.5 hours.
Oh my god.
Yeah. But it was cool. It was cool, man. I mean, El Paso brought it. And I feel that AEW did as well. The girls, the hardcore match, that was pretty cool. I mean, it wasn't completely clean, but I mean, all of El Paso now loves Harley Cameron. That was cool.
Bro, that was a train wreck.
But in person,
both girls got hurt, and Joe will show this later.
Let's wait to do the AEW.
All right, go ahead. Well, we are about to.
Yeah, we could.
Yeah, well, let's get. You want to start with the AEW review, and then we'll do the Lucha?
We're already talking about it.
All right, cool.
Go for it.
All right. So we're going to have a condemnation later in this. By the way, let's just do the condemnation now. All right. So Harry brought a sign to the show, okay? And the sign says, let me see here. Okay, so the sign said Disco greater than Callas, all right? So Harry, if you could walk me through what happened next with your sign.
Yeah, so I'm front row, and Don Callis is coming out with Kyle Fletcher for his match against Adam Cole. And out of nowhere, Callis walks right in front of me, and he looks at the sign, and he's all, but he didn't say nothing. Lance Archer right behind him saw the sign, and he grabbed it off of my hands, and he just ripped it in half and threw it.
All right.
I was like, all right, got under his skin.
Joe, show the Harry Weiss tweet where he talks about this.
Okay, can I just say something real quick? Mm-hmm. Any chance that under directions or instructions from Don Callis, he did that? Like Don said, rip it up. Huh?
All right.
I have a feeling that might have happened with the sign or something.
Okay.
Like a,
so you
a
have
little...
no. There's more to the story here. Okay. So Harry Ruiz tweets. Okay, where's it at? No, keep going.
Right there.
There we go. Okay, tweet that. Show that. I guess Lance Hoyt didn't like my sign for AEW Dynamite. This is very disrespectful. Shows the sign ripped up. So I quote tweeted this. Okay, I quote tweeted this. Joe, do you know how to find a quote tweet?
Yeah.
No, just go right there to the retweet sign.
Go to the retweet. Hit the retweet button, Joe.
Yeah.
We see what says
And then
view
go
quotes.
view quotes.
You didn't know about this?
No.
Are you kidding me?
No, I would have just went to your.
Okay, so I put this was okay. Get the music ready.
Uh-huh.
This is a violent assault on me personally. Lance Hoyt and the Don Callis need to apologize and condemn these actions. So let's condemn Don Callis. He called you a dumb, Harry. Okay, I answered this. Okay, and said, I quote tweeted that, and I said, Harry does Spanish commentary for the Raiders. He's going to get owner Mark Davis to buy AEW from Tony just so he could fire you and Lance. Hashtag AEW Dynamite. Then Don Callis responded to that tweet and says, please don't reference marks that no one knows. Another shot at you, Harry. It makes you look like a bigger stooge male Riz than you already are.
Riz?
I think it means like rat. Rizat, I guess. What does Riz mean there, Konnan?
That makes
muted,
sense.
by the way.
I would have thought.
Riz is a word that's used, but I thought it meant like swag kind of. Look it up. Look at Urban Dictionary Riz.
The people that think that I was serious in this is hysterical.
Yeah, right.
It's I'm like seriously, people, you really actually think I was being that serious about this? Because
Riz with two Z's means a person's ability to attract a romantic partner through charisma, charm, or skill and flirtation. But I think Don meant what Disco said. Maybe Riz. Yeah.
Okay.
And dude, the funny part is that's that sign was I actually took a picture with Callas all the way back in 2018 with a sign that said Disco greater than
that looks like
Cyrus.
the fake Don Callis. I think Don Callis is in a bad mood because the guy that looks like him wasn't there.
It's a possibility.
Right? There was no bald guy there imitating him.
All right, so we condemn Don Callis. Let's talk about the show. Hangman Page comes out for a promo with Tony. I thank Will Ospreay for reminding him why he got in the ring in the first place, for proving to him that he could be a man to carry this company forward. He handed back the Open Championships. He decided he said a new one will be decided next year, but now he must begin looking forward to the men's championship. It said it had been locked in a briefcase, was no longer a symbol of the competition, compassion, passion, and dignity the company's founded to represent. Page passionately promised to go all in Texas and win the championship. Swerve interrupted and headed the ring and showed a video reminding Page of the Young Bucks explaining why they screwed Swerve out of the championship against Hangman because they love Hangman. They've always loved Hangman. Swerve called collusion and demanded a straight answer from Page about whether the Young Bucks were working on his behalf. Page did a dynasty. He locked eyes on Swerve and then locked out his eyes on Moxley. And for a second, even he thought about helping Swerve. He called Swerve said if he wanted to cost him the world championship, he would have done it to himself to his face because he's done it before. Swerve said it all sounds good, but he's still. Will Ospreay's music hit for some reason. I don't know why. Ospreay told Swerve that he looks at him like a brother for what he had done for him early in his career, and he then told him he was wrong about Hangman. Because you learn something about a man when you're in the ring with them in a high-stakes situation, and Hangman cares about this place. Ospreay said at first he thought Swerve was the guy, then he thought it was himself, but instead it's him. He told Swerve people were starting to believe in them again, and if they work together, but Swerve then slapped the mic out of his hand when he said work together, and Swerve left the ring after saying he would never work with Hangman again. Hangman told Ospreay that he would never take his abuse again and left right afterwards, and Ospreay was left in contemplation, standing in the ring. I don't know why Ospreay came out for this. They absolutely did not need him in this, and they made him look like an idiot for coming out there. After he's like, bro, the guy just lost. I mean, he's lost like every big match he's been in here, and he's supposed to be a big babyface. This was not a good spot for him. I didn't think. I like the Swerve Hangman stuff though. What did you guys think of this, Harry? What did you think of this?
I liked it, and I get the part with Osprey, and they want to just get somebody to beat John Moxley and get the title away from him and defeat the what do you call the Death Riders. So, and they know it's like, hey, it's a numbers game. If the Death Riders are all there, then they're screwed. And it's like, hey man, we got to team up and we got to help Hangman. He's the guy that's got the title shot. And after the match and at Double or Nothing, they shook hands and they showed respect for one another. So I get that part, but at the same time, I feel like it would have been better just to keep Hangman and Swerve in the ring and let them figure that stuff out.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought it was a great promo, but I want to ask you, since you're the AEW.
Oh, Joe, this is Dynamite. We should have the ratings up. Come on, and the ones and twos.
Harry.
Yes, sir.
Can you explain to me why Swerve waited so long, like 2 months, I would say, to ask Page if he was behind the Bucks interference?
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
All right,
it doesn't make sense at all that you got to wait that long to be mad at something after being a babyface for the last 2 months since that happened. So
yeah, that was a big hole for me. And the other thing was, and tell me if I'm misremembering this, didn't like Swerve show some remorse for things he had done to Page before? Then why was he so mad? Okay, and here's the other thing. When Page, I like when he said something like, "You're," remember?
Yeah.
He should have said, "Yeah, that's why they call me Cowboy." But bro, when Swerve said, "I will never tag with him," and then Hangman said, "Yeah, that means they're gonna tag somehow, and they'll probably be like the Avengers. It's gonna be Swerve, Bruv, and what's the other and Cowboy teaming up together." Yeah.
All right. So this is where AEW, in my opinion, they have issues. Everything we just talked about, okay? All the relevant points in this story, put them in a video package, like things that they've said in the past, show them, and explain this story up to this point. Because like we're going backwards here. This story started so long ago. We're trying to wonder that like that didn't make sense. Is that like do a video package of all the relevant points that you want to tell in this story, so going forward we know what the narrative is here. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not sure what the narrative is. You know, so do you agree with that, Konnan?
100%, bro.
That's what they say. As I say, they just need to explain. Like we shouldn't be this confused with the top guy angles. You know. So
but it's good seeing these three guys being involved in an angle, all of them, instead of being in smaller angles or a tournament. It's like, hey, put all of them in there and get some good happening.
So they show them the Death Riders showing up. They make their entrance, and I don't know. This is weird booking to me because they had almost, you know, those. He's got a match coming up with Moxley, so you would think, okay, all right, let's start this tonight with this angle, but instead the Death Riders have a trios match against it's Moxley, Marina Shafir, and Gabe Kid against Willow, Speedball, Bailey, and Briscoe. I mean, there's like zero doubt who's going to win this match. Wheeler Yuta got involved. Dude, I'm sorry. Moxley just not only does he not like to sell, when he has to sell for baby faces, it looks atrocious. He doesn't like bump. He like literally like stands there with his arms aside and sticks his head out for the guy to hit him. Like it's like really awkward looking work for a top guy. And he doesn't sell big for guys at all, ever. They need to take the belt off that guy. He's just I don't know why everybody thinks he's such a great worker. I mean, his character's fine, but I mean he's acts all crazy and quirky and stuff. But just like, dude, it's like, come on, you gotta sell for these guys, you know.
And see, I bet you
go back in this match and see how many actual bumps that Moxley took in this match. I don't think he took one when he fell on it that I remember, like, but it's like, I don't know. So
who would you say bumps more in big matches typically? Would it be Moxley or would it be Raven back in the day?
Right.
Well, who would it be?
Raven bump.
Raven bump.
You definitely bump. You had to bump out there. You know, if you're working, guys get. We would get, dude, like the level of accountability for work back in WC was far exceeds anything they're doing in this show. Bro, this show has like on a Dynamite. It's supposed to be where the best wrestle. There's multiple botches every single week on this show. Like all of their matches, like a lot of them have botches. If we had one botch, you were hearing it from everybody. Just one. You know, there was one. Like there'd be one botch on the show, and everybody be talking about it. You know, and like it wouldn't happen that much. Cody, do you agree with that, Conan?
Oh yeah, bro. You wouldn't live it down. You'd
Right,
hear
it's
about it. Yeah, you'd hear about it on the airport. You'd hear about it in the gym. You'd hear
you'd
about it in the dressing room.
you'd worry if the office was looking to take you off TV because you were botching. Like you think like I'm gonna have a match this week, but I botched last week. I don't know. The
Like
work here is just
Kidman screwing up the shooting star.
yeah, but Sullivan and Terry
steps.
Taylor thought that was the funniest thing ever. They were cracking up at that.
Like it hurt like a.
And Kidman was just so dejected because Kidman liked to laugh at everybody's botches. So when Kidman missed a shooting star and botched it and hit the ropes, okay, he was so depressed when they called him into the office. I walked in with them. Terry and Sullivan are just cracking up, watching the replay over and over. And Kidman's going like, "Oh man, I'm sorry." So Kevin Sullivan cracking up, said, "Nah, don't worry about it, kid. Everybody botches. You just do more spectacular than everybody else." Which is funny. So
nice.
But nobody, for some reason, this match went 19 minutes. This Gabe Kid, I guess his name is. He's like wrestles like it. He just does the forearms and the chops and stuff.
People on YouTube get mad when we don't know who that is, Disco. Just so you know.
He's a New Japan guy, but I don't know anything about him.
Yes.
That's what I was going to tell you. New Japan guy, the Bullet Club out there now.
I mean, I'd sure like
Let
to
me
know
say
more
a
about
couple
the guy.
things about this.
Go ahead. There's 19 minutes, by the way.
I do not like the Death Riders. Never have. Probably never will. Yuta doesn't come off as intimidating to me. Claudio Castagnoli doesn't come off as, and he's a great wrestler, but he doesn't come up intimidating like a heel should be, like a Braun Breaker or a Bronson Reed, right?
Mm-hmm.
Moxley, I've always say he's a broke man's Jason Statham. This girl, I don't know what she's doing there. Bro, you were there. How big is she? Like 130 pounds soaking wet? How much would you say she weighs?
Which girl are you talking about? Marina Shafir?
Yeah.
Marina Shafir.
Yeah, she German suplexed somebody.
Yeah.
And I was like, what?
Oh, she hurt Atlanta. Bro, it was a German suplex of Rhina's shoulder. They did a spot where one of the guys was on the top rope, and Marina Shafir and Yuta climbed up on the apron next to the person on the top rope, but she did it too soon because Willow Nightingale then had to climb up on the apron and run down and kick her off. And like Shafir was right there to yank the guy's ankle off the ropes for like a good, a decent amount of time where she was.
Now, let me ask you a
jumped
question.
Up there and didn't interfere. She stood there and waited for Nightingale to come.
You're in the first row, okay?
Yeah.
Does she come off as intimidating in person?
Not really. I mean, she's there. She's doing the angry face. She's only getting physical with Willow, and it's like
no. She German suplex some guy.
But 5'7", 145 is what Google says that is her height and weight.
Yeah,
but
you put her 145.
You put her next to the guys, and it's like she's
small,
half their size.
Right.
I think that's accurate, though, Harry. Seeing her walk in front of you, she's 5'7", or is that just
give or take? Yeah.
Now I will say this: I like Gabe Kid because he reminds me a little bit, not as much, Disco, of Buzz Sawyer, like an out of control guy that can, probably beat you. Like he looks intimidating and he looks real out of everybody in that group.
Right. Yeah.
Now the reason is why is he there?
Style.
Huh?
Why is he there?
I don't know why. Yeah, why is like good question? Why is he in the group? Like they haven't really. He's interfered
because Tony probably hired him. They know what to do with him, and just like he does with Don Callas, here, take this guy, take this guy, take this guy. Yeah.
I'm going to tell you what happens.
Right.
Because Tony takes so long to write the show, and they did like the day of the show. People said the show, and the show comes out, and he forgets he's done the show, and he had to do it quick. He forgets, we needed a Gabe Kid interview here. And he just forgets to put it on the show, like with the Death Riders. They need to cut a promo, explain why Gabe Kid, like they did it, but this was 19 minutes.
What does that have to do with what I just said?
Oh, but I'm saying this is but the point being, this is 19 minutes, right?
Yeah.
They did the walk, bro, out of the 19 minutes, they could have started in the back with a promo explaining why Gabe Kid for a minute or two, explaining why he's with the group, then walk to the ring, and the match is only 17 minutes. Like, who gives
That was way too long. Yeah.
Or why this match is even happening, because it's what the Death Riders, they were in the Anarchy in the Arena match, and Willow was in the Anarchy in the Arena match. But why are Mark Briscoe and Speedball in the match? Why are they going against? Just didn't.
I don't know. Maybe setting up an angle for that. I don't know. So they did just a short. The hottest thing on the show is the Syndicate with the MJF angle, and they just had a 1-minute promo to talk about how they promised to leave their enemies in a pool of their blood. Really, that's all it was, a 1-minute promo. Kind of
pretty
interesting.
bummed out they weren't there.
I want to bring up something you're aware of. Right. This was interesting. Okay, so AEW on the pay-per-view on Sunday,
right?
They did the Hurt Syndicate against Dustin Rhodes and Sammy. Okay, now when you did the Arrow Lucha thing, back when you did Arrow Lucha, wasn't there a spot in the back where they had booked MVP was going to do something
this was great. Let me tell.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, go ahead. Okay.
Tell the story because this is
all right.
I don't know if they've communicated until this. Now they have to work together on that.
This is what happened. This is exactly what happened.
This is a good story.
So Vince Russo and me were booking Arrow Lucha. So I took some matches and he took some matches, right? So he came up with a match between Sammy Guevara and MVP. It was going to be like a best of 3, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
But to start off the angle, he was going to slap MVP, like disrespecting a veteran, right? And MVP had no clue who the guy was because he was just an indie guy really at that time. And he comes up to me and he goes, "Bro, you want me? This guy's going to slap me?" And I go, "Well, I didn't write it." And he go talk to Russo about it. He goes, "Bro, he looks like he's 12 years old." He goes, "I'm not doing it." That's exactly what happened.
Right. I thought there was more that it was a thing where MVP was supposed to jack him up against the wall, and Sammy said, "Well, if he does that to me, I'm going." I thought.
Oh,
Sammy
he did say that.
Right.
I couldn't believe that.
Right. The Sammy kind of went to clap back at MVP,
right.
"Hey man, this is how we need to do this," and it's like, I'm gonna however it worked, but
I don't know.
I don't know. MVP,
I don't know if he told MVP because MVP probably would have destroyed him right there. But I do know, and this might have been from Vince, and that he said something like, "Yeah, well, if he grabbed me up against a wall, I'd punch him or something like that." Right.
Yeah, right.
and I go, and then when I saw him, I go, "Did you really say that?" He goes, "Yeah." I go, "Bro, do you know who you're dealing with? This guy was in jail for like 9 years, and he don't play around. Like he's from the same city I am.
Right.
I'm 10 years older than him, so I grew up with a different crowd.
Right.
Like yeah.
But the gist of it is that they worked with each other at the pay-per-view, but they've had there was a little heat spot between them for working for a shoot, that they previously had. So next, Megan Bain and Penelope Ford had a generic promo backstage, and they would make Anna Jay and Harley Cameron their next sacrifices, and they have a no DQ match coming up. Ricochet cut a backstage promo. Spoke about figuring out how the way things work in AEW, and he mentioned the Death Riders, the Ops, the Hurt Syndicate. Decided he needs a crew of subjects that will help him in his quest for gold. And he claimed he would put his perfect crew together and be unstoppable. So this is kind of like the old bookie where it's like 8 weeks of TV of a guy recruiting a faction. So now we're going to get Ricochet recruiting a faction for about 6. This could actually be interesting. Okay, because it'll probably give Ricochet a lot of personality.
Let me just say this. First of all, another faction? Do we really need another faction?
It's kind of funny.
That's number one.
Well, the promo explained it, though. He said, "Hey, things work right here. We got all these guys. Like, I need a faction too." So it's like the promo is actually not that bad.
Yeah, no. It's a logical promo, but do we really need another faction?
No.
Let me ask you a question, Harry, because you would probably know this. What is going on? Is this guy hurt or what? Was the guy the muscular guy that was getting over?
Brian Cage or
no? What was it? He was with MJF. Remember?
Wardlow.
Oh, Wardlow. I mean, he was hurt, but then he had bookings out here in Vegas for WrestleMania weekend, and then they canceled them. It's been
That
crazy.
poor guy.
He's got
There's a
the
lot of
office.
guys. There's a lot of guys that he could choose from. Brandon Cutler, Wardlow,
So I think
Sanjay Dutt,
Jeff Jarrett.
right.
I think it would be logical. Like, you can put him in there, like with the Gates of Agony with Bishop Khan and Toa Leona. That would be
Right.
cool. But I hope it's not. He mentioned the word crew, and that's the nickname of the faction that Leo Rush and Action Andretti have. And I'm like, I hope that's not the case. That they're good and everything, but it would just be an undersized.
Bro, have you seen the ridiculous outfits that Action, Birdnest, Hair Andretti, and Leo Rush come out with?
Yes, sir.
I-
The
I-
jackets,
yeah.
the spiky jackets.
That's
Rollins on the
terrible.
other show, like really outrageous and outlandish.
Yeah, well, they're-
I don't mind it, you know.
That was
For the trying, I mean, like everybody else dresses like a slob on that show, so you know.
yeah,
Even
well,
like Will, I was surprised that
put something else on.
This is
because
the other thing
that's
too.
not
That
working.
opening promo, dude, it's like you're backstage. Will Ospreay's got on gray pants. Swerve's got on gray pants. And some point where they go, hey, guy, one of us needs to probably go change our pants. We're wearing matching pants out there for this promo. I don't know. So yeah, I thought Swerve, Swerve was dressed kind of underwhelming compared to the way he usually does.
I was very happy because at least Cowboy doesn't wear the butterfly pants anymore.
There
All right,
you
so
go.
this.
Nothing.
So we do Anna Jay and Harley Cameron who've been getting over pretty good because they're attractive and they're funny. You know, they got a gimmick, which is why I'd have no idea why two girls doing kind of comedy get thrown into a no DQ match. This was sloppy. This is a lot of greenness in this. 2 spots. Well, this ended with Megan Bain and Penelope Ford going over, but with Anna Jay limping off with the doctor and Harley Cameron got a broken nose.
Is it a broken nose for?
Yes, because watch this move, and I want to talk about why this move was ridiculous. Okay, she can't protect herself. Okay, Joe, play it. All right. So Megan Bain is going to pick her up. Now Harley Cameron's going to wrap her own legs around Megan Bain's hips, which means she's not going to have any leverage to stop her from taking this bump. She can only do it with her hands. But look how hard she goes in there.
Oh.
Okay, so it's like, bro, you don't have like any leverage to like plant your feet and stuff. Because see where her legs are? They're hooked around her hips. So she's got no leverage other than putting her hands down to stop this bump. He slams her against the thing, and because she can't stop it because she does it hard, she breaks her nose. I'm like, well,
the rap here goes, yeah, come on, Doc.
Yeah, the doctor calls the doctor. Bro, this doctor was like working this whole match. Anna Jay got hurt. I don't know how she got hurt, but it made Megan Bain look like it made her look strong because here the two girls getting carried out after the match. You know,
they did some face plant on Anna Jay.
Yeah, on the chair too. She got her bell rung.
Okay.
Yeah, this match was a mess. All right.
Yep.
Joe.
Yep.
Put up
the Road Warriors finish.
The Road Warrior finish. Did you see this, Harry? She totally missed her.
Yeah.
Did you see it or not, Harry?
In the show? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you
no,
saw her because he's right there front row.
Yeah. No,
but he might have been at the
I think I was. I think I was recording it with my phone, and it was like
he's right
pretty
there
obvious.
Over that left shoulder.
It's like you got way too many green girls in here.
Now watch.
Doing a no DQ match. It's like this is like.
Yeah, and that was kind of funny that she's like picking her own partner up, and she's off. And I remember. Yeah, it was on my phone, and I think I got a pretty
right. It's like how did she miss her?
Look at that. She hit her
She's right
back.
there. Yeah, she just airballed it, and
because
they're doing it.
Look at this.
Was that the finish? That was the finish, wasn't it?
Yeah.
She missed her on the finish.
Yeah.
That was Harley again too, wasn't it? Poor Harley.
Yeah, this was a disaster. All right, but it made Megan Bain look.
But
you know,
as Harry says, they worked hard, so they've got a lot of new fans.
I mean, they're green.
Bro, they're very sloppy. Come on.
Okay, what'd you think of this, Harry?
He liked it.
I don't get it. But here's the thing: I don't get it why they wrestled 3 days after they wrestled in the pay-per-view. They wrestled in the pay-per-view
because they probably weren't hurt. They are now.
Cameron and Anna Jay won, and now 3 days later they give the win back to Megan Bain, which it's the logical thing to do because you want to build Megan Bayne up. But I mean,
bro, they've been building up for months.
Right, so
yeah, but you want to keep her up there. She got beat by Toni Storm with a small package, and then
That's
since
good.
then it's like
Toni Storm's a huge star.
and it's like
They're setting her up for
there.
Monet, which is finally going to happen.
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't know if this worked or not, but Joe, do you watch our Ring of Honor, Harry?
No.
Okay, I had no idea who the Frat House is. Okay,
Neither did I. But they were very.
But this is funny.
They were very obnoxious, which I loved.
Let me talk about this. So for some reason, I don't know why they did it this way, but it actually ended up working out accidentally. They sent the ops out first.
Right.
Okay, but the Frat House had kind of like, so the Frat House comes out, and bro, they did this up like they had like kind of cheap looking, but they had like a screen of a frat house, and they actually along the boards across the on the hard cam side, they had like Frat House thing. It's about 6 or 7 of them. They come out. One of the guys is super jacked. Okay, I don't know who's the guy that was jacked that with the shirt off that did the talking. Do you know who that is?
So he used to be with the what was it,
The
Bear
guy
Mountain,
There's a guy named Jacked Jameson. So I'm assuming
is that who it is?
that one. Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So
Joe,
so
play
here the
play the Connor thing for this guy.
Is that guy?
Okay.
So the Frat House participants that are going to wrestle this match is our boy. He made his big. He's been off. I haven't seen this guy forever. Griff Garrison.
Oh yeah.
Right.
I mean, he's in the
Yeah.
Frat House with Cole
The cheap
Carter and Preston Vance.
Broke man's version of Chris Jericho.
But these guys they come out, and I guess they're trying to. They're letting them cut a promo, and they said they went out and they actually showed a vignette of them going out in El Paso drinking and passing out for like a 45-second promo. So they put a lot of effort in to give these guys a short amount of personality before they went out to the 3-minute job. But the funniest part of this was while they were cutting the promo right in front of, Joe and Shibata, they've got instead of like, I would have been kind of like laughing or mocking them. They had this serious look on their face, like, what these guys? And then they just went out and killed them in the match, which is actually entertaining. But like, I don't know. I thought it was
okay.
This was
let me
funny,
let me just say this before Harry says anything. I thought this was hilarious. Okay, because Preston Vance, remember he used to be like Rush's partner for some reason,
right?
and he was also in
Factory Preston Vance.
the New Dork Order.
Right.
Okay. So he was very obnoxious. Remember, he was on the
Right.
mic at the end going, oh, and
Right.
everybody's
Yeah.
face.
And
And
then
I
he
was
had-
like,
right.
bro, these guys are going to get beat out of them, right?
Right.
But
right.
they're getting good heat. And then the frat boys or the pledges, which I love that,
Right.
they got
Even if-
destroyed. They got destroyed by Hobbs. But to me, the star of the show was a guy that had no shirt on. And he was like, yeah, I've heard about El Paso Strong. That's kind of funny because the men are weak and the women are fat or something like that,
Yeah,
right?
right. So generic,
Yeah.
like Kenny.
And I was like, this guy has so much heat. Imagine when they start bumping him around, but he wasn't even in the match.
right. So the finish in this is actually pretty good. The way they had it set up was very good because he's got the pledges fed, and
Right.
Hobbs hit them with excellent looking
Time buster.
time busters.
Right.
The finish is supposed to be so one of the guys gets at the guy in the match, supposed to climb up on the top and jump into Hobbs to get caught in the spine buster, but the guy slipped on the ropes climbing up,
Right,
fell off
right.
the ropes, got back up, jumped off, but didn't land right, and Hobbs hit the worst looking spine buster on that guy, and that was the actual finish. If the finish, so like I don't know, it's like
What do you think of this? What do you think of this, Harry?
absurd. Like
I had never heard about the Frat House. I actually saw on social media that they were gonna they had a meet and greet the day before the show, Tuesday, in El Paso, and I
they
was
showed
like,
the highlights of it.
yeah, and I was like, I know Griff Garrison, I know Cole Carter, I know Preston Vance, and I know who Jack Jameson is as well from being in the Iron Savages before. But I'm like, they're together. Where was this from? And
So well, you got to watch Ring of Honor.
yeah, they were obnoxious, and they didn't show the footage in the arena. We were just hearing what they were saying, so it's like, all right, they're gonna kill these guys.
Now, let me just say this. I wouldn't mind seeing them again.
Really?
Yeah,
I
because
think
they
it's
were
a very
funny.
jabroni looking.
I think they were funny
It's
and
kind of
obnoxious.
very
Kind of like that.
Jamie
let me
Hayter
see
comes
if-
out for an
So
interview
I
with
actually
Renee.
got this angle of the botch. Let me see. Give me a sec.
Oh, here it is. Okay. Oh, then you missed the finish. Poor camera, Harry. You
No, but here you go. Look at
whoops.
Samoa Joe. I thought the Samoa Joe part was funnier, with Joe going like, "Oh, he missed by this much,"
Yeah.
and then I was like, "Oh, that was it." Bam.
Yeah, then he hit him with the spine buster. All right, so Jamie Hayter comes out for an interview with Renee. She asks about what was next for her. She barely got any words out. The lights came out. When they came back on, the production crew missed the attack. Okay, this girl Thekla, who's the something spider. There's a spider on the screen, and she's the toxic spider. Is that her name or something?
Who?
I have no idea who the.
Wait 1 minute.
No idea who this person
I'm
was.
on
Bro,
Wikipedia.
this
It says the toxic spider.
This is weird because for like 2 or 3 weeks, and I know you noticed this, Harry, they showed like a spider on the screen, right?
Oh, that was for
Mhm.
this?
Yes.
guess-
That was
yeah.
for this.
Okay, so then the funny thing was that this is the way they do it all the time. It's hysterical. So this girl, she shows up and she had already laid out. They missed a camera shot of this. She laid out Jamie Hayter. I don't know if you did she. What did she do to her to lay her out originally, Harry? Because she laid her out, but we didn't see this on TV.
I think she just attacked her from behind.
Okay,
It
so she
wasn't
lays her out,
anything-
picks her up, and actually hits her with what looked like a pretty good punch. Okay, then she went over to the camera and she did the Bray Wyatt back thing and spun over to a thing. And in like a good 10 seconds, what's his name? Who's the announcer with the mask?
Excalibur.
Excalibur was trying to explain who this person was, speed talking, trying to explain who this is, which is funny because that's what they always get cut off for time and they have to hurry up and say everything. And so this girl Thekla's there now and she texts.
But do you know anything where she comes from or what's the deal with her?
She's they said because you say I heard Stardom.
There you
Okay,
go,
and I heard she
Stardom.
got fired from Stardom because she had attacked the owner or something like that. But bro, he was saying it so fast. I was trying to get the gist of it, but he was speed talking this whole thing while she at that 10 seconds after she attacked her. So that's her gimmick. She got fired from Stardom, and here she is in the AEW.
I hope she attacks Tony.
I remember we brought her up in the show, and I told you guys it's like she's 5'1", 115. And it's like, well, it's the same as the Japanese girls that are all tiny on the show, right?
Right.
So,
Bro,
and
there
you put
was
her
this-
in there against Jamie Hayter, who's super physical, and
Harry.
it's like, all right.
I'm not lying when I tell you this. There was a girl backstage, and I forgot her name. Might have been Siho, something like that. Bro, she literally looked like she was 13 years old. Like a little girl, small, very skinny. And I'm like, who's supposed to believe she's going to beat anybody?
Well, fans like.
I think
Okay,
no, it's just Disco. That attack on the Stardom president, that was an angle.
I know. I'm sure it was, but
the way you were telling it, it sounded like.
No, I'm telling you that's why Excalibur was explaining who she is.
Okay.
Yeah, bro. Think about how complicated that was. Here she is from Stardom, and she got fired by Stardom for attacking the owner or something like. And like, you had to get that in like 5 seconds.
Is she Japanese?
I don't know.
No,
Half the Stardom girls aren't Japanese.
She's from Austria.
Austria.
Correct.
So this was
how tall is she? Just give me her height and weight when you get a chance.
5'1", 115 build, height, and weight.
Come on, dude.
5'1", 115. Are you kidding me?
And bro, here you go. In the latest the Pro Wrestling Illustrated top 250 last year, she was number 77.
Wow.
Thekla?
Lyman.
77 out of 250.
All right, so then they went to a video package for Mystico, and the video package showed him doing like 60 dives. So Adam Cole against Kyle Fletcher for the TNT Championship. You got that bump? Because this is interesting when Adam Cole took the. So Fletcher goes to powerbomb him on the apron, missed by a mile, and it looked like Cole hit the back of his head on the apron when he was going down and flat back bump on the ground, but he didn't. Somebody showed in slow motion, and he just missed. He may have grazed the back of his head on something barely, but it did because he immediately grabbed the back of his head, which is everybody's worried about. The very most interesting thing about this, Harry, you weren't watching on TV. Everybody was so concerned because literally everybody ran over, like the doctor ran over there and everything.
Like you just mentioned, it was on the side of the ramp.
Don Callis literally broke character and said, "I'm going to go over there and check on Cole." Like before they went to commercial. Yeah, go play this. Let's listen to this. Listen to Callis here.
Right there. Good job by Fletcher. He saw the opening and he struck. And now Fletcher. Oh, no! God. Jeez.
It doesn't go to the.
No, Joe, keep playing it. Don't go backwards.
It ended.
Keep playing.
It ended at 10 seconds.
Oh, that's it?
It's a 10-second.
Oh, okay. On the show.
I'll find another one, though.
On the show, he was selling, and Don Callis said, "I'm going to go over there and check on Cole."
Yeah.
Like he was like for a shoot, he thought he was like, yeah, like so that was how funny is that? So, but Adam Cole actually won the match because Josh Alexander came out, attacked
DQ.
him, and Brody King came down to make the save, and because they were going to be wrestling next. So King came out with a chair, ran the Don Callis guys off because Cole just beat. I'm not a fan of that finish. Why is Adam Cole go? I mean, like Fletcher's the money here. I mean, you guys agree with that? Well, what do you think of this, Harry?
I mean, I was expecting when I had no clue that match was going to happen. So when Fletcher and Cole come out, I was like, this is going to be amazing. And then DQ, I get it. You're not going to put a pay-per-view match on TV and have a clean finish. And it was good for what it was, but I don't like it when AEW does these kind of finishes, which is what I remember seeing a lot when I used to watch WWE.
Right.
Where it was like, oh, this match is great. DQ.
And let me tell you too about Cole. With that spot, dude, say no. This guy's got concussion history, bro. You don't have to take that spot. I mean, it's his fault as much as it is for Fletcher for not being close enough and doing it correctly. It's like you're submitting yourself to a high risk. You can get hurt if it's done incorrectly. It could be it could be catastrophic.
Wouldn't Cole?
If he would have hit his head again, got another concussion, he would have been done. So
Kyle's
it's like
supposed to be like a great worker and stuff like that. Wouldn't Cole just figure it would go smooth?
Bro, these guys are.
I mean, it's not like some guy.
Bro, nobody's a great worker in that cut. Like, there's not a lot of great workers there. There's a lot of people that Dave Meltzer think have great matches, but the work, which is trying to protect yourself while making your stuff look as real as possible or protect your opponent, that doesn't really exist in that company that much. Because that's work. Is you can do it looking real without hurting yourself or anybody. Bret Hart was an excellent worker. Flair was an excellent worker. Kurt Hennig was an excellent worker. The Undertaker's an excellent worker. He looks like he's beat the guy.
Who do you consider an excellent worker in AEW?
Worker? MJF's work is. I like MJF's work. I like who else do I like?
Lashley.
Like Lashley, yeah. Bro, the guys from the WWE system. The what you call it? The Hardwood and
FTR.
FTR.
Yeah.
FTR. They're excellent workers. That they don't hurt the other guy. So they don't try to hurt themselves.
You want to see the rest of this with Callas coming over? Or you're good. Got it if you want.
Yeah, you gotta let play it. I want to see this. Did you see this, Konnan?
No.
Okay, watch this.
God, jeez. The power bomb. Cole clipping his head on the apron, and this match continues. I'm going to go check on Adam Cole.
This is kind of weird because this guy right here, Fletcher's in the family. Why would he be checking on Adam Cole?
Well, he's a shoot. Because bro, if you watch on TV, like he's watching. Fletcher probably didn't see it like that.
Okay, so what's he gonna do? He's not a doctor. There's a doctor there. The referee's asking him. The referee's asking him, "Hey, are you okay?" He obviously said yes.
Okay, but I'm just saying, Don Callis for a moment was legit concerned.
Let me tell you, Don Callis has heat with me because he ripped up the sign, right?
Right.
And when we went to the Korean barbecue, he was so drunk and I was so that we burned everything. So we have he has heat with me for that.
Does he have extra heat for socializing with me in Philadelphia?
I think he was being polite, Joe. I hate to tell you.
Yeah, I know.
I know that. So Josh Alexander and Brody King stay out there, and in the continued burial of the Don Callis family in this segment, Brody King went out and beat Josh Alexander. Don Callis lost 2 matches because one of the guys got his guy DQ'd, and the guy that got DQ'd lost another match clean to the Brody King guy. So
their only win was against the sign.
Callis has to have. I think Don Callis might have heat with Tony. Bro, his faction is not. Bro, how? Like, there's no way a Don Callis faction should be second fiddle to a John Moxley faction with the mic work and stuff. Like Don Callis is he's got mega heat when he's on the mic. Right. He should be they should be the number one heels. He should be the number one heel with his faction. And bro, they beat these guys like a drum.
And the talent they have in it. I mean,
yes. I mean, these guys lose all the time.
Bro, believe me when I tell you this. Tony gives them those guys.
Right. And he's got to make chicken salad out of whatever they give him.
Right.
So Mercedes Moné and Toni Storm had an in-ring together. Mercedes said she doesn't go around backstage shaking hands with anyone, and Storm responded that she's the Toni Storm of pro wrestling, and Mercedes has never met anyone like her. Mercedes says she's definitely not that shy and scared woman. Oh, by the way, they showed that at the time they showed Mercedes Moné driving up in the car outside. It was shot earlier in the day, obviously, because they made it sound like here she comes now, but it was complete daylight outside. It's actually like 8 or 9 o'clock at night there, or whatever, 8 o'clock at night, whatever time it was, right? So it should have been dark. You know, no big deal, just kind of like a little detail. But I would have shot that live. There's no reason you couldn't have. So she says, what does she say here? I missed my spot. Mercedes says she's definitely not the shy and scared woman she met 10 years ago, but she's no longer a boss. She's a CEO. She said they would have the greatest match of all time. She would cement her legacy and hold all the gold in the process. They exchanged some innuendos about tunnels and trains and agreed to see each other in All In, Texas. Toni admitted that she thinks Mercedes is greatest of all time, but unfortunately she's timeless. Mercedes then said that her time is running out. She then offered a handshake, and Toni took a big whiff of Mercedes and leaned in to kiss her hand. This led to a physical stalemate where both women unsuccessfully attacked one another, and Mercedes rolled to the floor, and then they had a wild dance-off to close the show. Toni rolled on the mat and told Mercedes to come and get her. What did you think about this close to the show?
It was good. It was a good promo, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a good start for they got 7 weeks to build it even higher, but it's the match that everybody wants to see. They want to see Toni Storm, which has been, in my opinion, the greatest women's champion that AEW has had, and they got Mercedes Moné, who she's undefeated. She's been there for over a year now, and she's still undefeated.
Yeah. What do you think, Konnan?
I thought it was good. I thought Toni Storm was better on the mic, but I thought this was good.
I think that's a good start for this big Texas event, All In. I mean, that is the top matches you can make if you're Toni. Toni Storm and Mercedes. It says here Moxley and Page as well, and then likely Omega Okada. That's 3 big matches for them. You know?
Yeah. I don't know. You could have had Omega and Okada on the show to start their feud instead of the Ops versus the Frat Boys.
Right. I mean, remember we said yesterday that he needs to start building Okada for that. He's only got 6-7 weeks or whatever.
And and you didn't need this show. Bro, my top 5 for the week. I only have 3 things on all the shows. Okay, number 1 was my favorite. My number 3 was the Toni Mercedes promo. That was the best thing on the show. The only thing I thought was interesting. On Raw, the only thing to me that was interesting was the Judgment Day vignettes and the finish of the Liv Vicarious match. And on SmackDown, the thread with Jacob Fatu Solo and Monster Stash out there, JC Mateo. That's I only have 3 this week.
You're gonna
do you have 5?
Yeah.
Real quick, you're gonna have to send me how you want me to spell that.
Monster Stash?
Monster Stash, yeah.
MONSTATASH. Monster
it sounds.
Yeah, Monster Stash.
And you got to edit out him saying his name the way he just said it, because he said he was never going to refer to him that way.
Do that. You just used his.
I used JC Mateo.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah. Well, but but I said I said Monster Stash on the SmackDown review at least 13 times.
Of course.
I think, so.
Yeah, it was great.
People are going to be wondering who the Monster Stash.
Yeah, because that's an old MLW radio.
That's right.
Lucha Underground.
Yeah, Lucha Underground.
So let me give you my 5.
Mm-hmm.
This is funny because this is only the second time since we've been doing reviews, since we've been doing AEW reviews, that we have 2 AEW things in the top 5. Last week was the first time.
I had I had 2 in the top 5 last week.
Right.
Yeah.
So number 5. I like the Profits and Axiom match, and then the Wyatt's return.
Okay.
I thought that was cool. Number 4, Liv Morgan, anything she did on the show, from with Kerry Sane to the shit with Roxanne and Dominic. Okay? Thought that was great. Number 3, the Tony Storm and Mercedes Moné. Okay.
Mhm.
Number 2, Paulie and Seth Promo. And number 1, Osprey, Cowboy, and Swerve. Last week was just Osprey and Cowboy.
Interesting. We differ a little bit.
Well, they've picked up their
I would
game.
say I like Osprey. I like Swerve and Hangman. I didn't like Osprey in there. That's why there wasn't that. I don't know.
I had no problem with him because he's trying to get them together. So he's trying to be a peacemaker.
Right.
You know.
So that's been our TV reviews for the week.
Enjoy the rest of the show. Boom.
Go ahead, Harry.
I think that's 3 weeks in a row that Disco has something from AEW in the top spot.
Well, I mean, I'm saying because the WWE isn't giving me a lot that I like. There's not a lot of stuff I like right now. It's hard. Like these shows are kind of, like we're still in the post WrestleMania, kind of malaise is the word I want to use there. Which happens every year, and it kind of happened again this year. So,
yo, what's up? I just want to thank you guys for watching this clip. Don't forget to hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And join our YouTube membership for hours and hours of exclusive, unedited, uncensored content. And being a member will help you get involved in our upcoming live streams. Thank you for your support. Thank you for riding with us. I know you got a lot of other podcast choices, be it wrestling or other ones. And thank you for picking us. Boom.